Twins to complete a 3-game sweep. It's been a good homestand already for the Twins. It started with the Twins just a half game up on second place Detroit, but a couple of wins have increased the Minnesota lead to 2.5 games. And welcome to Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven. This is just the 5th week of the regular season, and already the 5th opportunity for the Twins to complete a 3-game sweep. Now, they've won the first 2 games of this series as they did those other series with very good starting pitching.
Well, here this afternoon, hopefully Kevin Slowey can do and duplicate exactly what Nick Blackburn did last night. Get deep into the ball game. Blackburn with a complete game. Kevin Slowey making his 6th start. Only one time he's worked into the 6th inning as far as getting through the 6th inning, so he needs some innings. And for the Detroit Tigers, it'll Rick Porcello on the mound. He made 5 starts last year, and remember, he started game 163 against the Minnesota Twins.
And with this game, this 3-week stretch of games against teams within the American League Central comes to a close, and the Twins, even though they've had some injuries and more injuries to deal with today, J.J. Hardy out of the lineup, the Twins have a very good record. We'll tell you about the hero in the game last night and his status or lack thereof for today's game. We are professional grade.
The Twins go for the sweep of the Tigers today at Target Field with Roy Smalley. I'm Anthony LaPanta. Last night's hero was J.J. Hardy. He extended his hitting streak to 8 with a run-scoring single against Joel Zamaya and then a triple that led to the winning run in the 9th. But the Twins are without his services here today.
Yeah, he's hurt. He sprained it. They said jammed his wrist. It's the outside of the left wrist. And he's getting treatment. He's going to miss a day or 2. We'll see how far that goes. But last night, the slide into third base on the triple, I think if you look at the slide, you see him put his hand down to catch himself, and he got it underneath him. And he's got a strain on the outside of his left wrist. It's pretty sore.
Hardy tripled in the 9th, scored the winning run on a wild pitch as Minnesota beat the Tigers last night 4-3. But, Roy, that followed an amazing defensive play in the top of the 9th. Hard to imagine a shortstop having a bigger inning in a ball game.
I can't imagine a better inning, but I'll tell you, it's so important for a contending team to have a shortstop that can win games, both offensively and defensively. This is a spectacular play because not only was it a great dive and catch, but the ball didn't come up. It stayed down. He had to catch a short hop. Just a tremendously athletic play. Then he walks up in the bottom of the inning and cranks one off the left field wall. Slides into third base as the potential winning run. That's where he hurt himself right there. And then 2 pitches later, ball on the screen, and JJ completes the JJ Hardy ninth inning show by scoring the winning run. And the Twins guaranteeing the Twins another winning series.
The Twins will go for the sweep with Alexi Casilla at short this afternoon. First pitch just moments away. Kevin Slowey trying to make it 3 straight over the Tigers.
Minnesota 3-game sweep of the season. And the Menards batting order for the Detroit Tigers, and they've changed things up a little bit too. Unfortunately, Austin Jackson and Johnny Damon are both in the lineup today. So is Maglio Ordonez, Miguel Cabrera, Brennan Bosch at the game-tying home run last night. Don Kelly's in at third base. Alex Avila is catching, Scott Sizemore at second, and Ramon Santiago at short.
And it's got a report on Kevin Slowey. Missed his birthday yesterday. So Kevin Slowey, happy birthday yesterday, and give yourself a birthday victory here this afternoon. Kevin Slowey turning 26 yesterday. And follow Nick Blackburn's lead. Blackburn, a complete game victory. I saw Ron Gardenhire when I was coming in, and he raised his hands to me and he said, a complete game, a complete game. So anytime a complete game is conquered, a great win for the Twins last night. Ron Gardenhire, Rick Anderson, and the pitching staff will take it.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins, and a bit of a different look. J.J. Hardy out of the lineup. But Young, Span, and Kanayer get the starting assignment in the outfield. Casilla getting the start at short. Punto on the left side of the infield. Hudson and Morneau on the right side. Ramos doing the catching. And for Casilla, a chance to step in and get some at-bats and
play his natural position, which is shortstop.
And that's again, Dick, it's a long season. Injuries are going to happen, like happened to J.J. Hardy. You need guys on the bench to pick each other up. And there's J.J. Hardy and Alexei Casilla getting the opportunity to start here this afternoon.
I don't know. You look at the injuries the Twins have had, and they've had to play a lot of games without first Morneau, then Mauer in the lineup, and now Hardy. But you look at how they've gotten hurt. In Morneau's case, trying to plaster a Verlander fastball and swinging too hard. For Mauer, trying to stretch, beat out an infield hit. And Hardy trying to take an extra base and sliding. I mean, these are all injuries made out of hustle.
That's right. And you know what? The Twins are 18-9 because these guys just give 100% day in and day out.
Austin Jackson takes up an in, ball one. Jackson, Damon, and Ordonez to get things started.
Well, the key for Kevin Slowey is work down in the strike zone. Saw Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, this morning, and that's what he talked about. Kevin Slowey can get away with the first, couple, 2-3 innings because he can overpower guys with that high fastball, but he gets ahead down in the strike zone. There's Rick Anderson. He'll keep a sharp eye on Kevin Slowey.
And Slowey trying to find the hole or holes in Jackson's swing. This is his 6th game against the Twins. He hasn't struck out yet. Little pop up, short right field. Kadire glides in to make the catch, one away. Cold front moved through last night during the game, and we expect temperatures in the 50 to 60 degree range for the balance of the homestand. And a threat of rain off and on throughout the homestand. One down, and here's Johnny Damon. And a pitch outside, ball one.
Well, Johnny Damon in his first season with the Tigers, his 16th Major League season, 2-time American League All-Star when he was with the Boston Red Sox. Sometime this year, Johnny Damon will pick up hit number 2,500 in his career.
Two and one. And a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. When Slowey is on, and Twins fans have been paying attention, they know this already. He pitches to the frame of the strike zone, and he doesn't deliver much down the middle of the plate.
And you know what, Dick? It's been the pitch count that has surprised me for Kevin Slowey. Very high in a lot of his starts. Last start, 5 innings against the Cleveland Indians, 102 pitches, and that's too many for a guy like Kevin Slowey.
But isn't it a case where he's just off by a couple inches off the plate here, there, up, down?
Yeah, you hope you find out early what Darryl Cousins behind the plate will give you as far as working the corners.
And flipped foul, still 2-2. Darryl Cousins, one of the more senior members, if not the most senior member of the Major League umpiring crew. He's got the plate, and then 3 Jims on the bases: Joyce, Reynolds, and Wolf. 2-2. Slowey to Damon. And another foul. Of course, Damon was with the Yankees. Now he's with Detroit. Curtis Granderson was with Detroit, and now he's on the disabled list for the Yankees. Going to be out about a month. Foul over by the camera well. So a long battle here. Slowey's thrown a whole bunch of pitches to Damon already, and it's 2-2.
And that's what a guy like Johnny Damon can do. He kind of came out of that Yankee system, and he did it really when he started with the Royals. Very good hitter, career .288 hitter.
You can see the EH patch on the right sleeve of the Tiger uniforms in honor of Ernie Harwell, who passed away last night in the dirt, and it's 3-2. Have done a nice job keeping the Tigers off the board early, and a better job of scoring first themselves in the first inning over the last 4 or 5 ball games. Soft line drive, and Hudson with the catch, out number 2. Twins baseball is brought to you in Sony high definition. 2 gone, and now the designated hitter, Maglio Ordonez. And Ordonez lifts it foul.
Nice catch by the fan right there.
Bare-handed catch, I guess. Ordonez has been slowed a little bit with an oblique strain. Probably a good thing for him to have a DH day after a couple of days in right field. 1-1.
Yeah, Ordonez in his 6th season with the Tigers, his 14th major league season. Spent 8 seasons with the Chicago White Sox. Had a frustrating first half last year. Finished the season strong, hitting over 300. But the power numbers down.
2-1. Tigers have an interesting mix. Guys like Ordonez and Damon, who are in the back ends of great careers, and some young guys. 3 rookies key to their success so far this year. Casilla to his left, slings it to Morneau, and Slowey has a 1-2-3 first inning.
Having a 1-2-3 inning. Take a look at the Menards batting order for the Minnesota Twins. Menard, Span, Orlando, Hudson, Justin Morneau. That good numbers against Rick Porcello is Jason Kubel in that cleanup spot. Michael Kadire, Delman Young, Wilson Ramos, Alexi Casilla, and Nick Punto. Twins hitting 279 as a ball club, just behind the Tigers, who are leading the American League, hitting at 282.
Span leading things off for the Twins, taking a strike in 5 straight games, and 6 of the last 7 games. The Twins have scored at least 2 runs in the very first inning. Span with a base hit to right. A promising start here this afternoon. So Span aboard. And that'll bring up Orlando Hudson.
Well, that lineup facing Rick Porcello. 5 starts for Porcello last year. 1 win, 2 losses, a 2.79 ERA combined. But it's been a struggle for Porcello so far this year. comes into the ball game with 2 wins, but 41 hits allowed in 24 2/3 innings. And they say that his sinker is not there yet. And over the last 3 starts, it's been a struggle. And ERA in 13 2/3 innings over his last 3 starts at 11.2.
He said in his last start that he started the game by throwing 18 straight fastballs against the Angels. Trying to find that sinker, maybe. But that seems like a lot of repetitive pitches without mixing things up. And Hudson takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, he's got a good fastball. He's not like Zamaya or, Verlander, and I think this is one thing he's learning in his sophomore year, that, you can't get away with a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball that's straight. He needs that sinker. He needs to get ground ball outs, and it's kind of a learning experience for this young man.
Down and in. Nice save by Avila, who had the wild pitch get by him that ended the game last night.
Porcello, only 21 years old, had a very steady year for the Tigers last year, 14-9 in 31 starts, an ERA just under 4. But you know what, Dick? The game of baseball will catch up to you, too. Everybody got to see Porcello for the first time. Twins, saw him 5 times last year. But, now he has to make the adjustment to the stuff that he has.
2-1, and Hudson takes outside 3-1 on another fastball. And these fastballs are 87, 88, 89.
Well, you know what Nick Blackburn did last night, and I talked to Nick about it, slowed his delivery up a little bit and didn't try to overthrow the ball. He kept the ball down extremely well, got a lot of ground ball outs, and a complete game victory. You mentioned something last night. There's a walk to Hudson, so Porcello putting himself in trouble here in the first inning.
With Morneau coming to the plate, 2 men aboard. Northland Ford defense for the Tigers. They've got Damon in left today. Jackson and Bosch out there in the outfield. Don Kelly, Santiago, Sizemore up the middle. Cabrera at first, and Avila behind the plate.
Dick, you mentioned last night that if you don't throw 94 miles an hour, the Tigers aren't going to sign you because of all those great arms that they have, not only in the starting staff but also in the bullpen. And I think Porcello saying, I have to throw as hard as these guys. Or maybe he's not that efficient if he throws 94, 95.
Bell took the strike there at 90 for strike 1 to Morneau. He made the jump from Class A ball last year and won 14 games. Twins with a great chance to do some early damage again here today. Deep to right center field. Off the wall. Jackson plays the carom beautifully. Morneau with an RBI double, and the Twins get a quick run here in the first.
Well, again, the Twins come out smoking. Justin Morneau, a double off that wall in right center field, driving in his 19th run. Not a bad pitch right there. Justin went down and hit it a long way. Span scoring from second. See, runners have to hold up a little bit. Once they see it hit the wall, Span scores easily. And Hudson stops at third.
Here's Kubel. With Hudson at third, Morneau at second, and 1 run already in. A little flip foul.
Well, this might be the pitcher that Jason Kubel needs right here to get his season back on the right track. 9 for 14 lifetime against Rick Porcello with a home run.
And the home run came at a critical spot in game 163 last year. Porcello was the starting pitcher. Inside 1-1. And Porcello wasn't giving the Twins much of anything. And he had an early lead thanks to Miguel Cabrera. The Twins had gotten an unearned run against Porcello, but he went into the 6th inning with a 2-run lead and was sailing along. And then Kubel took him deep. And before the Tigers could get the Twins retired, Porcello was out of the ball game in the 6th inning. And as we later found out, the Tiger bullpen was playing short in the most important game of the year, and ultimately that is what led to the Twins winning game 163. but absent Kubel's home run that started the process of getting Porcello out of the game, who knows what might have happened.
I remember Fernando Rodney had to pitch extra in that ballgame.
2-1 to Kubel. Off of Darrell Cousins, I think. Hudson's going to come all the way in. I don't know if that was a foul ball or not. Hudson heading back to third.
I don't think Avila knew exactly what was going on right there. Avila walking out there. Maybe he got crossed up right here, but looked like Jason Kubel made contact with this pitch.
Yep. You can hear Darrell Cousins growing all the way up here. 2-2. So Avila going to the mound, I think, just to give Darrell Cousins a chance to recover from the blow against the mask. Two and two to Kubel. And he got him. And Kubel fans for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Kadire. The Twins have averaged more than 2 runs a game scored over the last 6 games. There's one game where they did not score, but they had a 4 spot in there too.
Yeah, Twins are 4-1 in those ball games. Always good, not only for a ball club to score early, but also for the starting pitcher. Relax a little bit.
Here's Kadire with the infield back, and Porcello delivers strike 1.
But no matter how many runs they score, Dick, you know it's still a 0-0 ball game.
Of course. Kadire leading the team with 21 runs batted in, a chance to do more damage here in the first.
Just 2 for 11 lifetime against Porcello.
And now the velocity picking up. That pitch clock here at 93.
Yeah, but it's out of the strike zone again. You know, he's trying to overthrow a little bit. Porcello in his last start came against the Angels in Detroit. Tigers scored him a lot of runs. He won that ball game 10-6. 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 earned runs.
And now 2-1.
Control has not been an issue for Porcello this year. Only 6 walks in his first 5 starts. He did walk Hudson here earlier in the inning. Got a chance to walk Kadire.
First base is open. Delman Young on deck. And Porcello seems to be pitching Kadire pretty carefully here. Checked his swing, but he went too far, and it's a full count.
Hey, what with a breaking ball right there on a fastball count. Porcello with a fastball. We've seen that fastball in the mid-90s, curveball, and a changeup.
And Kadire protects the plate and lashes it foul. For the Twins, 27 games played. Kadire with 21 runs batted in. And remember, he did not have a run batted in the first week of the season. Bouncer headed up the middle. It'll score a run. Santiago fires across to Cabrera. Kadire has his 22nd run batted in. Hudson making it a 2-0 game.
A productive out right there for Michael Kadire. Picks up the RBI. Also advances Justin Morneau from second to third as Hudson scores the second run of the inning.
And in a way, picks up Jason Kubel a little bit too, making sure that guy from third gets in.
Right.
And now here's Delman Young, who's been one of the hotter Twins. A couple of hits last night in the ball game, a couple of singles. And the game before that, in Cleveland, he went 4 for 4 with a walk. So 6 for his last 8 with a walk in his last 2 games. 1-0 to Delman Young. Laced to center. And Jackson comes in and makes a fine running catch off his shoe tops. Again, a two-spot for the Twins in the first, and when we come back, we'll remember Detroit Tiger broadcaster and baseball icon Ernie Harwell. His great broadcasting career for the Tigers coming to a close a few years before, and Jack Morris, who pitched briefly for the Twins, primarily for the Tigers. Some thoughts about Ernie Harwell.
I will never, ever see, probably ever again in the rest of my life, is Ernie's ability to remember everybody's name. I don't know how he did it. I asked him, he told me. I still don't believe him. I think he wrote it down and it was on his hand every time, but he just had a phenomenal memory. So, you know, and that's what made him such a great broadcaster, is he could recall incidents that happened 20, 30 years ago and recite them like they were right here today.
Cabrera leading off the second inning.
That's a special talent, isn't it? You know, people in Detroit, of course, have missed Ernie Harwell's call of play over the last couple of years since he's kind of walked away from the mic because of health issues. But you know, I grew up in Southern California. Vince Scully, you know, it was the same way. It's a gift that some guys have, and Ernie Harwell had that gift.
2-1 to Miguel Cabrera, and fouled away. Dan Dickerson and Jim Price do the radio work for the Tigers now. They both had a tough time making the official announcement last night. And all night long, all day long, didn't even have to be a sports radio station. People speaking reverently of Ernie. And I came to the conclusion, listening to all the accolades. There's a sharp liner, and that skips by Casilla and into short left field. A leadoff single for Cabrera. And our sister network covering today's game, Fox Sports Detroit, is airing a 30-minute Ernie Harwell special. Ernie Harwell will remember. And for fans in Twins territory, they've made arrangements to watch a live stream of the show online via the homepage at foxsportsnorth.com. And the special will run today on the web immediately following the game, and also at 5:30 and 9 p.m. Central Time. Ernie Harwell will remember. Cabrera aboard Brennan Bosch, the hitter. But I was listening to all the accolades about Ernie, and I just found it ironic. They were all very appropriate and well deserved by Ernie, but I don't think they began to capture who he was. And I just thought it ironic. Here's a man who was a master at the English language, and now that he's passed, there aren't words really to describe what he meant to the Tigers and to the baseball community as a whole. It's a wonderful, wonderful man. Bosch at the plate, a 1-1 count. And now 2-1.
Well, it was Bosch last night in the ninth inning that took a high breaking ball from Nick Blackburn and hit the home run, his second of the year. And they had that at 389. It looked more like 450. Well, he crushed it deep into the night over that right field fence. But Blackburn got the rest of the guys out. Double play ball.
6-4. 3. Double play.
That's the pitcher's best friend right there. The ball that Cabrera hit, he hit it so sharply past Casilla. He went to his left, and then the ball ended up on his right and short hopped him. But right here, going to his right, Casilla, sure hands, flip over to Hudson, over to Morneau, and a big double play for Kevin Slowey.
Roy Smalley, as a shortstop, you can appreciate what Casilla did there. He made sure he got in front of the ball. That looked like a ball that he might have had to backhand, but he got over there and actually got behind the ball.
Yeah, he did a real nice job, and he's a terrific defensive player. Can play anywhere in the infield. And when you haven't played for a while and you hit the ball hit that sharply at you a couple times in a row, you can get a little shell shock. But he made a real nice play there, got rid of the ball. What I love about that play is he gets rid of the ball quickly and is right there for Orlando Hudson to make it real easy for him to receive the ball and turn it.
That's the biggest thing, isn't it? I mean, you guys communicate second base, shortstop, about where you like to throw, and it's usually right around your chest, isn't it, Roy?
Yeah, you want the ball up around your chest ideally, and for him to get rid of the ball and get it over there where he did was, anywhere. A chest is ideal, but he'll take it anywhere.
Rocket foul, 1-2 now to Kelly.
I always remember, infielders and sometimes first basemen too, never anticipate a perfect throw. Always be ready, always be balanced where Hudson was right there to hopefully get the ball in his chest, but he's also balanced that, if the ball's to his left or right, he can still make that adjustment.
Well, as a first baseman, nobody did that better than Doug Minkiewicz. Koski, Guzman, Rivas, primarily responsible for Minkiewicz getting a gold glove. He dug so many low throws out. A little nubber up the line, and it'll stay foul. One and two. Slowey had a 1-2-3 first. Got a double play ball here in the second. So far, just 32 pitches.
Brendan Inge getting the day off, so Kelly getting an opportunity to play some third base. Also kind of a utility type player. He can play some outfield.
So again in the second inning, Slowey faces just 3 men. The Twins still lead 2-0. Beneath the majestic pine trees of Itasca State Park, I've made that walk. and I haven't fallen in. There have been a couple other times when I have fallen in.
Is that you right there as
no,
a youngster?
Once I made it across without slipping and falling. Here's Ramos with a number fielded by Porcello, and Ramos is quickly retired. 1 down. 2-0 Twins. Let's find Robbie and Smikowski out on the plaza someplace.
You know, guys, I'm hanging out here, and I stopped behind section 112 behind home plate on my way out here, and I grabbed a little bit of chicken stir fry. How about that? They have chicken stir fry and vegetable stir fry. So I'm hanging out here. I got a couple friends, people getting pictures taken at the Big Gold Glove. Got the windmill going off behind me. Another spectacular thing about Target Field, the chicken stir fry, and this might be the best part, is they will give you a fortune cookie. And if we hang tight here for a second, I want to read my fortune on TV today. And Dick, I think you could attest to this. Stay away from Blyleven after he eats the press dinner. What's up with that?
Yeah.
I mean, on a fortune? Are you serious?
1 down. Thank you, Robbie. Casilla at the plate, 1-1 the count, and now a strike called 1-2. So many great dining options here. What do we have? We had walleye sliders up here today and walleye fingers. 2-2. And Nick Punto will hit third this inning. And he got the inside corner to strike out Casilla. And after the first 3 batters reach, now Porcello's retired 5 men in a row.
Yeah, good delivery right there. Good pitch to Casilla. See him balance point. And then a good strike, inner half of the plate. Porcello picking up his second strikeout.
Part of my duty here, too, I'm taking pictures of the fans in addition to eating.
Good.
It's nice out here in the plaza. It's just a great place to hang out.
Punto pushes a bunt foul. Take the lens cap off.
Thing is,
how did I do? I can't. I get a microphone and a fortune cookie.
Thing is, he sells those pictures back to the fans.
Yes. Like, hey, how much you want for that? I got some chicken stir fry for this camera.
And now a swinging bunt to third, and Kelly fires across. And Punto, as Span did last night, veers left. It's a quick 1-2-3 second inning for the Twins. Let us know who you think will be the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value, followed by a space, and the player's name to short code 234234.
See if Justin Morneau, which he is leading.
Should be.
Yeah, RBI double for Justin in that first inning to score Span.
If you notice starting pitchers, the voting is off to a slow start. It's like
That's
fans are saying, okay, 2 innings, fine. Let me see you get through the 5th, 6th, maybe into the 7th inning.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't see the results last night. Hopefully Nick Blackburn or J.J. Hardy probably were 1-2 in the voting last night. It was J.J. Hardy.
1 strike to Alex Avila.
Now, what an inning for J.J. Hardy, saving a run and then scoring the winning run.
And driving in a run earlier in the ball game, getting a big hit against Joel Zumaya. Hardy with a bit of a ding on the outside of his wrist after sliding into third base. Two strikes to Avila. You know, Twins are wrapping up this 3-week stretch against teams in the American League Central. We identified it as a pretty important stretch early in the season. Right now the Twins are 11-6, and in the total of 18 games within the division, they've had Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau together for just 10 of them. Avila lifts it high and deep to right center field. Into the upper deck in right. And the Tigers are on the board. It's 2-1.
Well, Avila picking up his first RBI of the year on a home run, his first of the year. That's his 38th at-bat this season. And Avila helps the Tigers make it a 2-1 ball game. Ball right down Broadway. And Avila did not miss it.
So a 2-1 ball game, and here's Scott Sizemore. Ball 1. Sizemore hitting 8th, playing second base. On the outside corner, 1-1.
That's the pitch right there that Kevin Slowey needs more consistency of right there. That pitch down and away. To me, again, I'm going to talk about it. That's the work part of pitching. The follow through with that wrist.
Line foul, 1-2.
That ball that he threw to Avila, you could almost see the palm leading the ball rather than the ball on top. And that's what Rick Anderson talked to me about this morning. About they're trying to get him to work out front.
Avila's home run measured at 410 feet.
Oh, if that's 410. Bosch hit that ball past the flags at 389.
I'm just reporting what I've been told. I was actually talking with the Twins media relations assistant Dustin Morse about the measuring system here, and it's a little bit more involved, and they're confident a lot more accurate than it ever was at the Metrodome. And some interesting early season home runs hit here in terms of measurement. We'll talk about that over the course of the afternoon. Popped up right side. Morneau and Hudson. And it is Hudson making the catch, 1 away. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan. We welcome all of you and thank you all for your service to our country.
Well, we sure do. Our prayers are with everybody.
One down. Here's Ramon Santiago.
Come home safe.
Santiago pulls it down the line near the foul pole. And just over into the seats, a strike.
Robbie Stankowski back in the booth, and he brought us a fortune cookie. I can only imagine what mine's going to read.
We'll find out shortly, I'll bet.
Yeah, bite it open.
I'll wait a second for mine.
Your BFF is a jerk.
Bert just learned what BFF was very, very recently. For those of you viewers out there wondering why he just went there. Here, have some chicken stir fry. It's good.
Oh, thank you very much.
How about you, Dick?
Don't under any circumstances start your car.
Mine actually says you enjoy using your imagination.
Well, and you do, don't you?
I do enjoy using whatever comes out of my mouth again. You don't know.
Hey, Dick, I'm leaving you in good hands. I'm leaving Bert with some chicken stir fry, and I'm out of here.
Thank you, Robbie.
My actual fortune here says, listen carefully. An upcoming important message may be subtle. So I'm going to be hanging on every word you say.
Won't take any phone calls.
2-2. And now 3-2.
Well, Santiago hitting only 100 as a right-handed hitter, but he got a big hit last night. They ended up giving him an infield hit. He hit the ball that J.J. Hardy had to dive for and keep that ball in the infield. And then Avila went too far around the bag, and he tossed the ball over to Nick Punto. And as J.J. Hardy said, Punto did the rest. But Santiago hitting .364 as a left-handed hitter, and he draws a walk here.
Well, we found out in the opening game Monday night, just not a good idea to walk the number 9 hitter. Twins walked Santiago twice Monday night. He scored both times. Punto, hitting ninth for the Twins, walked once and scored. So here's Santiago drawing a 1-out walk in the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up Austin Jackson. Jackson leading the American League in strikeouts. He has struck out 34 times, and the Twins have yet to strike him out. In 5.5 games, there's a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, 14 walks for Jackson to 34 strikeouts. He did come into the ball game tied with Robinson Cano hitting at .376. So when he does make contact, it's usually a hit, leading the American League in hits with 44. Whoa, watch out. That ball slipping away from Kevin Slowey right there.
1-1.
Slowey trying to go inside, but the ball up and in. Always a dangerous pitch right there. Jackson getting out of the way. Ramos sitting inside again.
Foul back. They think they've got a gem here in Austin Jackson. Just a couple of points behind Cano. Longoria up there, Cabrera up there. Of course, Mauer and Morneau are up there too. But of those hitters, Jackson, the only rookie. Right down the middle. And maybe that
There's
pitch,
that strikeout.
He finally so much find a hole in his swing, they got him into a situation where he might have been looking for something else.
Yeah, definitely looked like he's looking for something else. They pitched him in, and then a ball right down the middle that he took for strike 3.
Johnny Damon will hit.
Well, Slowey picking up strikeout number 2 in the ball game.
High fly to right center field. And Bernard Span is there. Looks like the wind pushed that out a little bit. Swirling around here at Target Field. The Tigers get one back on an Avila home run. cold weather wear here in this state. People are enjoying bringing it to the ballpark. Denard Span started the first inning with a single. He scored on a Morneau double. And the Twins' 2-0 lead has been cut in half. It'll be Span, Hudson, and Morneau facing Porcello. Now those three batters all reached, and since then Porcello's retired 6 in a row. What the Twins want to avoid here is what happened last night, where they had Dontrell Willis on the ropes early, and then Willis got into a groove and ended up giving the Tigers a pretty solid start again.
Yeah, retired 12 in a row at one point.
2-1. And now 3-1. A couple of times Span has threatened to bunt with Kelly in on the grass at third base.
Yeah, not a bad try right there. Bring in that third baseman, and it kind of cuts down his range. And we've seen Span a lot of times drive fastball away. We'll take it that way. See Kelly playing in on the grass.
Ball 4, and Span will draw a leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Rick Porcello. You can visit the official online shop of the Minnesota Twins at twinsbaseball.com. You can get your stocking cap there, too, if you'd like. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. You can get your gear from the official source, the twinsbaseball.com shop, except no substitutes. Hudson walked and scored in the first inning. Sun trying to break through here at Target Field. And Hudson bunts it foul.
Well, Span at first base, 6 stolen bases in 7 attempts. Both the catchers for the Tigers, Gerald Laird and Alex Avila, very good arms behind the plate. It's up to Porcello to try to keep Span close.
One strike to Hudson, and Span dives back to the bag. As it was last night, the wind seems to be swirling. You look at the flagpoles down the right field line. One moment they're blowing in, the next moment they're blowing out. Hudson off the glove of the shortstop, picked up by Santiago. Safe at first and a very close play. Hudson hit a rocket, and we literally almost had an around-the-horn double play. 5-6, 4-3.
Unbelievable right there. Kelly playing in on the grass. Again, looking for the bunt. Hudson getting a pitch away and hammering it to Kelly. It deflects over to Santiago, and the Tigers almost go 5-6, 4-3 double play. Span sliding in hard, trying to break up the double play. And Hudson beat it out at first.
Here's Morneau. Cranked a double to right center field off the fence in right center for an RBI double in the first. Still looking for that first Target Field home run. That's to left field. Retreating is Damon, and he makes a running catch on the edge of the track for out number 2. You can submit a question online or make a comment if you'd like. carsoup.com/baseball. Katie McDonald, beautiful Hutchinson, Minnesota, who holds the Twins record for most extra base hits in a season. That's almost like a trivia question. And we really didn't get the one right last night, so if we get it right tonight, even though it's not a trivia question, I'm going to go with Tony Oliva.
Boy, either Rod Carew and I don't think Ken Herbeck. Maybe the home runs for Herbie. I don't know about the doubles and the triples.
43 doubles, 9 triples, 32 home runs in his rookie season when he won a batting title. In Detroit, they're talking about Austin Jackson maybe winning one. Doesn't happen very often for a rookie. This one laced to the gap in left center field, and that'll burn Jackson. Hudson around third. He's going to score, and Kubel will hold up with an RBI double.
Yeah, that ball right there kind of fooled Austin Jackson in center field because he kind of took a 90-degree angle as far as going toward the ball, and the ball was hit a lot harder than I think that he anticipated. Fastball down and away. Kubel goes that way. See Jackson have to retreat. And then once that ball got by him, Span scoring all the way from first base. And Kubel continues to have good at-bats against Rick Porcello. For Kubel, that's his 10th hit in 16 at-bats.
Two outs in the inning. Kadire trying to back up Kubel's 2-out RBI hit with one of his own.
Excuse me, that was Hudson that scored from first base, not Span. So Kubel picking up his 11th RBI on the double, his 8th of the year.
1 strike to Kadire. And down low, Jason Kubel making solid contact against a guy he feels pretty comfortable with, Roy Smalley.
Yeah, guys, I think the two things that Jason Kubel needed to see today, one was Rick Porcello because he hits him so well, and the other was hit the ball to the opposite field. He's looked a little pull conscious, a little bit in a hurry to me, and that might be just what he needs to get out of a little bit of a funk that he's in. So a lot of times hitters get a little bit off rhythm, and when you realize that you can wait a little longer, you can use the whole field, a lot of times that'll get him going again. So hopefully a combination of a guy that he sees real well on the mound and that ball to double left center will get him going.
Dyer with a half swing and a strike. 2-2.
You know, I mean, as a pitcher, you pitch him away, and then you credit the hitter for doing exactly what Kubel did right there. Fall a little bit up about thigh high, and Kubel taking it the other way and picking up a double and an RBI. So the Twins get the run back that Alex Avila gave the Tigers with his home run in the 3rd inning.
And another breaking ball down and away. We saw teams do this regularly to Kadire throughout the at-bat, trying to get him to chase breaking balls down and away. Full count with Young on deck.
See if he comes back with another breaking ball. Fastball.
Jammed him, and a little dribbler to second, Sizemore to first to end the inning. Twins take a leadoff walk and turn it into a run thanks to a 2-out double by Jason Kubel. On the Grand Casino story of the game.
Yeah, again, the Twins score early, 2 runs in the 1st inning. Alex Avila hitting a solo home run in the 3rd, and then Jason Kubel getting that run right back in the bottom of the 3rd with his RBI double.
And Slowey staked again to a 2-run lead. Twins trying to complete their first sweep. Quick turnaround after a night game last night. I took the North Star commuter train in here today for the first time. Yeah. Bouncer to 3rd and a fair ball Punto fires it across. Longest throw a third baseman can make. And he makes it on target, one away, and that'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. What makes this guy so dangerous, Roy Smalley?
I'll tell you, he's got everything going for him that a great hitter would have. He's big and strong. He's got great hitting mechanics. He's got really, really fast, strong hands. But you know what else he does, guys? He's really smart in figuring pitchers. He has a great approach when he doesn't know what's coming. He'll stay in the middle of the diamond so he can kind of adjust to all pitches. And then when he gets one in the middle of the plate, he's strong enough to handle it. But he also figures pitchers really well. He'll figure, by that I mean figuring out what's this guy going to try to throw me like that. He's sitting all over breaking ball right there.
And he hits one over the railing for a home run after cranking one off the fence here the other night. A solo home run for Cabrera. He's 2 for 2 against Smalley, and it's back to a 1-run lead.
I'll tell you what, and Roy, you can probably attest to this. Watch this guy take batting practice. My goodness, he was hitting balls up by the target field in straightaway center, and then in the third deck, you make a mistake, and this guy's so strong.
Yeah, you hardly ever see a guy like Cabrera go up. When every swing he takes, it seems like he's unbalanced. I mean, that is just beautiful. He's perfectly unbalanced and just whips the ball through the zone.
Well, this ball didn't take long to get out of this place.
And now slapped to left, a base hit for Bosch, who bounced into a double play in the second inning. And the Tigers coming right back on the Twins. They measure Cabrera's home run at 360 feet.
Yeah, that ball could have broke a seat.
Don Kelly will hit. And so the Twins getting a couple of runs in the first, and the Tigers hitting a pair of solo home runs. And they've actually out-hit the Twins here 4-3 with one out in the fourth. It just seems like Cabrera is one of those guys that, I don't know how else to put it. Seems like he always gets the barrel of the bat on the ball. You know,
almost like Vladimir Guerrero when Guerrero was younger with the Expos.
Yeah. You pitch him inside, and as Roy said, he can whip the bat head through and catch up with a pitch inside. He can drive it hard to the opposite field.
I think he's a hitter too that will set you up at times. You know, there's certain hitters that just will take a terrible swing at, say, a breaking ball, and then you think, okay, maybe I can get him out with this, and you throw it again, and he just hits a rope somewhere.
Outside, ball one.
But Cabrera came up at such a young age, too, with the Florida Marlins at 19 years old. A lot of power, fun to watch.
Kind of adopted. Oh, that's a close play at first. Bosch nearly got picked off.
Well, quick feed of Kevin Slowey right here. Bosch not a threat to run, but he was kind of leaning that way a little bit.
One and 0 to Don Kelly, who struck out against Slowey to wrap up the second inning. Popped up near second base. Casilla with the catch, out number 2. 2 down. Roy Smalley, you have more thoughts on Cabrera.
You know what occurs to me, guys? You were talking about him reminding you of Vladimir Guerrero. He reminds me a lot of Kirby, to tell you the truth. You just couldn't throw puck a breaking ball strike. He was so good at staying in the middle of the field and not jumping out too quick on fastballs that he never missed. I could never figure out why teams ever threw a breaking ball strike, and Cabrera's a lot that way. He just doesn't miss those things in the middle of the zone.
That's deep down the left field line. Delman Young watching it twist foul, 1 strike. Avila hit a home run leading off the third inning. And now once again the Tigers are within a run.
Yeah, what you're talking about, what Jim Leyland has said, I mean, about Miguel Cabrera. He feels that this guy is going to be a future Hall of Famer. Vladimir Guerrero, maybe a future Hall of Famer. Of course, who Roy is talking about, Kirby Puckett, a Hall of Famer.
shortly after arriving in Detroit, the Tigers went ahead and converted him from a third baseman to a first baseman. And now, like it is now with Jim Thome, it's hard to imagine him early in his career being a third baseman, but he was. And now Cabrera has improved defensively enough at first. It's hard to imagine him over at third base, the other side of the diamond. That's on the off the outside corner, and it's 2-1. They're starting to say that Cabrera's kind of adopted Wilson Ramos of the Twins, saying, hey, if the Twins don't want him, we'll take him. And of course, Alex Avila doesn't want that at all because he figures he's the Tiger catcher of the future. A high fly to center. And the wind swirling around, pushing that back. Span actually struggled with that a little bit. 5-man bat, and Cabrera cranks a home run, and it's a 1-run game. Lincoln Mercury. Visit your local Lincoln Mercury dealer or go to experiencelm.com. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Miguel Cabrera with a home run. And the Tigers are back within one. Ryan Rayburn now is in left field for the Tigers. Johnny Damon taken out of the game. Not many bench moves for Jim Leyland to make. He's only got a 4-man bench. Laird presumably is not going to play after banging a foul ball off his shin. And now Rayburn is in and left. A dribbler to second. Young's retired. Don't know that you can say that the wind is blowing out, but we'll call it a tricky wind. At least it seemed to be with Denard Span.
Well, the wind blowing in from right field, but you can see the trees in the background right there. Just kind of, you see the movement right there, and Span staying with it, kind of swirling around out in center.
Well, Wilson Ramos in the deepest slump of his major league career. He's 0 for 4. Swing and a miss, and he seems to be getting more off-speed stuff. They're not throwing him fastballs down the middle of the plate anymore.
How quick scouting reports get out there. Don't throw it down the middle. This guy can hit.
Fouled back. Just one note, Twins scoring 2 runs in the first inning again here today. For the 6th straight game, 2 or more runs scoring in the first inning. It ties a major league record last done by the Yankees in 1971. Wow.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
And Ramos strikes out for out number 2. That'll bring up Casilla.
Yeah, Porcello picking up strikeout number 3 in a ball game. Curveball.
Strikes brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. Buckle up and get home safely. Which won't be a concern for me again because I rode the train in. That's a pretty slick operation.
Now, let me ask you, do you have to drive very far to catch the train?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
you just park your car there and jump on.
The idea is you avoid downtown traffic and all that. I jumped onto the North Star commuter rail in Fridley. And about a 12-minute ride down here to the ballpark. It drops you off right behind the left field stands here. And then after the game, unless we go 22 innings or something like that, I'll just hop on the train and go back. 3-0 to Casilla. Feel perfectly safe doing that, too. Now, I will not ride the subway in New York.
Oh, I will.
I know you will. But
I feel perfectly safe there.
Do you?
Not at 3 in the morning.
3-1. Twins trying to put together something here with a 2-out rally in the 4th. And that'll help as Casilla, the number 8 batter, walks. And we get Punto to the plate with 2 away. Well, we already kind of answered a trivia question, but we have our official AT&T trivia question of the day. See if we can go 2 for 2 today. Detroit's last win at Minnesota. Who was the Tigers' winning pitcher? Give us a couple seconds to look that up.
Yeah, I can look that up.
All right. Nick Punto taking a strike from Porcello. Twins have handled the Tigers pretty well. Overall, they've won 25 of the last 40 games between the two teams. Punto takes inside 1-1. The one element that Casilla will always have, regardless of whether he is hitting well or not, is good leg speed. And see if the Twins can get his legs moving here. Punto can get a hit to the outfield, maybe find a gap someplace. That's high and deep to right center field. Way back and dropped on the warning track by Bosch. Casilla will score. Punto to third, and the Twins get a run in the 4th. And we talked about the tricky wind that might have made a routine fly ball difficult for Span. That may have come into play on Bosch's tracking that to the warning track.
Well, you know, look right here. I mean, Casilla hustling all the way. Nick Punto hustling all the way. And Bosch right off the tip of his glove. See, battling it right there, and the ball actually hitting his glove and bouncing out.
A 3-base error charged to Bosch. And the Twins have a 2-run lead again. Bosch got there. And Span with a hot shot that skips under the glove of Santiago, and the Twins will cash in with yet another run here in the 4th.
An RBI single right there for Span, scoring the 2nd run. For Span, he picks up his 13th RBI. It's one thing the Tigers, they now have made 25 errors on the year, the most in the American League.
So some mistakes by the Tigers, not just the fly ball. That's a tough play and should be ruled a hit by Span. But the walk to Casilla, giving Punto a chance to hit a ball deep enough that Bosch couldn't handle. Now Span with a rocket, and suddenly there are 2 runs on the board.
And last inning, you know, Denard Span led off with a walk, and then Orlando Hudson to force out, but he later scored basically because of the leadoff walk.
Guys, you were talking about, excuse me for jumping in here, you were talking about the wind and swirling around. That ball really affected, the wind really affected Bosch on that ball. He should have caught it. But you could see him. I had a really good shot here from right outside of first base. He got to a spot, kind of camped, and was ready.
Span takes off and steals second base. The Twins trying to pile some things on here with the stolen base, moving Span now into scoring position.
Yeah, Span getting a very good jump right there off of Porcello. Again, Both catchers with outstanding arms. Good strong throw, but Span stealing his 7th base of the year. Gets into scoring position.
Now Hudson is hit by a pitch. He kicked it all the way to third base. Squaring to bunt. And the ball bit down and got him on the back foot.
Yeah, that's a curveball of Porcello.
And that'll put 2 men aboard now for Morneau.
Watch the breaking ball right here. Hudson right there getting hit in the left shin area.
Morneau drove in the first run with a double to right center. Fly to fairly deep left field his second time up. He takes down and in a ball.
Boy, all this happening with 2 outs. The walk to Casilla, then the air. The RBI single by Span, then a hit batsman.
And a strike, 1-1. Porcello had a 1-2-3 second inning. Eddie Bonine warming up here, and looked like he was going to have a 1-2-3 fourth, but then the walk to Casilla, and it's been a mess ever since. 2-1. Six home runs for Morneau, all of them on the road. 2-2. The Tigers feel that in Porcello, Verlander, and Scherzer, they got a pretty good nucleus to build around. There you see another view of the trees in center field, buffeted by the wind.
Yeah, they just had a tough time getting going. The starting staff for Jim Leyland and Rick Knapp coming into this ballgame, 7 wins, 8 losses, but it's the ERA at 5.67 combined.
We're hoping that Jeremy Bonderman will get a little bit better as the season wears along.
Yeah, Porcello right here came in making his 6th start, an ERA of 8.03.
Full count to Morneau with 2 out. The runners will take off early. And Kubel on deck. Ball 4, and this inning, which seemed like it was going to be over with almost before it began, doesn't look like it's ever going to end.
Well, Span, I think he thought the count was 2-2 because he kind of hung around second base, and Orlando Hudson was kind of watching him, and he stayed there, so Hudson stayed at first. So another walk by Porcello, his 4th of the ballgame, and his second this inning.
And the one guy Porcello does not want to face with the bases loaded is the one guy who has owned him, Kubel. 1 for 2, a strikeout in the first, but then an opposite field RBI double in the third. And again, Kubel's got great numbers in his career against Porcello. An off-speed pitch over for strike 1. 1 for 2 today. And Kubel is 10 for 16 in his career against Porcello. Lifted to short left. Santiago calling for it. And he makes the catch. But the Twins do get a couple of runs after the 2-out walk to Casilla, and now lead by 3.
$100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets right here. A stack of them for Adrian. And Bert, check this out. This is Adrian. It's her 65th birthday today, and she has her 17-day-old granddaughter, Greta, here at her first Twins game. And this is also Adrian's first Twins game. And how much fun is this for you?
Oh, I love it. I've been looking forward to it all year.
All year, and you've been circled by Bert. How does that make your 65th birthday?
It's the best. It's the best. And meeting you.
And meeting me. But, Bert, let me tell you something. You've made another ladies' night by circling her. Good job out of you.
Oh, happy birthday, young lady. And you are hereby circled.
Scott Sizemore leading off the fifth for the Tigers, taking strike one from Kevin Slowey. And fisted foul. You know, lady here for the first time. And I was reminded today, we're lucky enough to come here every day. And still, so many Twins fans walk into this ballpark for the first time. There's a group of 67 fans who bust here from Watertown, South Dakota, and points west. And I had a chance to talk with them before the game. They just couldn't believe how beautiful this ballpark is. And for Twins fans who are hopeful of getting here this year, the only thing we can tell you, actually, we'll tell you two things. Call and check in advance and try to get your tickets in advance. But then, too, on the day of the game, if you feel like you want to come, I was talking with Kevin Smith yesterday of the Twins, and he said sometimes tickets are turned back in on the day of the game, and if it's a nice day, or if whether it is or isn't, if you've got an evening free or a day free, go ahead and give the Twins a call, and who knows, there might be tickets available on that day that weren't available 3 days before. 2 strikes to the leadoff man here in the fifth. Up high, 1-2. Sizemore had some off-season ankle surgery, and so Jim Leland, at least early in the season, giving him an off day here or there to make sure he doesn't overload his rookie second baseman. 2-2.
Yeah, you mentioned Sizemore, 25 years old, his rookie season. 4 years in the minor league system for the Tigers. Career .296 hitter. Got some pop in his bat.
And now a full count. Santiago will follow, and then Austin Jackson.
Every time the Tigers have scored, the Twins have answered.
Foul back. 71 pitches for Slowey. It wasn't just Nick Blackburn's complete game last night, but the game before that, Francisco Liriano, or I guess that was Sunday, right? Asked to pitch a little bit longer than might otherwise have been asked, with the Twins going through the stretch here with a 6-man bullpen. Here's a drive to left center field. Delman Young over, makes a nice running catch. So Sizemore finally retired for the first out of the fifth. You can go to FoxSportsNorth.com, click on the Twins logo for a live chat with Fox Sports North Twins blogger Patrick Donnelly. One down in the fifth, and here's Ramon Santiago.
Yeah, started with Liriano throwing 123 pitches in 7 innings, and then, of course, the Twins coming home, and Scott Baker, 7 very good innings, and then the complete game, and hopefully Slowey can get deep into the ball game here this afternoon.
It's Santiago on 1 pitch and 2 outs now in the fifth. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
There you go. You are hereby circled.
A Mexican holiday, not in any way related to any significance in the Dominican Republic or Venezuela.
Nice hat. You should get one of those.
What makes you think I don't have one? Just chose not to wear it today. Didn't know what would happen to me on the train if I was wearing a hat like that. One 1-0 to Austin Jackson. Twins finally struck him out. Slowly got him looking in the third. And just missing again, 2-0. Final game of this series. Orioles come to town tomorrow night for the first of 4. Then the White Sox next week for a couple. Here's a line drive to center. And Span can't make the play. That ball knuckled or sailed, sliced. And it almost looked like it got Span on the breadbasket.
Well, great effort right there by Bernard Span. This ball was hit hard to Span. It's a line drive. Span looked like he was going to, play it kind of carefully, but then he thought, you know what, I can go after this ball. And it hit the heel of his glove, and he fought and fought, but this ball ended up finding a way out of his glove.
Well, when you have something like that happen, you can't disguise it anymore with the scoreboard here. They replay things, and the image is so vivid, so clear. Everybody in the ballpark could see that ball hit Span, stay in his midsection for a while, bounce off his nose. And Hudson on the edge of the outfield grass makes the catch. No damage done. Austin Jackson gets a base hit. Slowey comes off the mound with a 3-run lead. Twins trying to complete a 3-game sweep. They are leading 5-2. Michael Kadire driving in a run with a ground ball in the first. Hit another ground ball to end the third. Facing Rick Porcello starting the 5th inning. 1-0. And now 2-0. Today, for the first time, we've seen an upper deck home run to right field. Kadire here on Monday night hit an upper deck home run to left field. And Kadire's home run, not the longest home run. Technically, that is an honor held by Yuniesky Betancourt, who hit one into the bullpen in left center field. 2-2.
I remember that home run that Jim Thome hit, over the trees.
That's second in the measuring here at the target field. 2-2 to Kadire. Bounced foul. And of course, players talk about and are proud of having hit the longest home run in any ballpark. Ben Ogilvy hit the longest home run in the other place. 481 feet. Kent Herbeck hit one 480 feet. But that's all frosting on the cake. I mean, all you have to do is hit the ball over the fence. A home run is a home run, right?
Well, I'd rather give up the 480 home run because I want to remember it. You're the pitcher.
Oh, foul.
Yeah, I don't want that one that just burns the back of the fence.
That's the point. Kadire's got 2 of them already.
Yeah, remember this one, red high fly ball. We thought it was going to be a fly ball to left field. That against the Red Sox, and it just went over. And then Kadire taking the ball the other way and just clearing the fence out in right field.
So ball hit to medium deep center field, sailing out to Jackson, who makes the catch, one away. Kadire has the 2 shortest home runs hit in this ballpark, and when the current lease expires 30 years from now, they may still be the shortest home runs ever hit here. The way they measure things here, the home run he hit to left, you'd have to have a shorter home run, you'd have to hit it off the base of the foul pole. There's a grounder to the left side, picked up by Don Kelly, and Young retired on 1 pitch, 2 down, or hit it off the top of the fence. In right field, again, talking with Dustin Morse of the Twins media relations staff, I don't know that you could hit one shorter to right field than Kadire did. It was in the first row of the overhang. It was a high fly ball that just barely made it over.
But you know what? If you ask Michael Kadire which of the 4 home runs he remembers, the 3-run home run he hit here on Monday night.
The one into the upper deck. Yeah. Wilson Ramos, the hitter. 0 for 2 today, hitless last night. And a sharp ground ball to third on a couple of hops to Kelly. Porcello rebounds from a ragged 4th to have a 1-2-3 5th. It rained pretty hard early in the game last night. And the Twins leading here 5-2.
This is an important inning right here for Kevin Slowey, Dick, because, you know, in the 4 of the 5 starts that Kevin Slowey has worked so far this year, 2 of the starts he's gone 5 innings. The other 2 more, he's gone 5 1/3. His longest outing, 8 innings, 3 starts ago against the Indians. So Slowey's pitch count right now at 78 pitches.
Driven hard but foul, 2 strikes. You know, and the way things have come together for this rotation, Bert, you know, what happened last night with Blackburn, he seems to have found something, slowed his delivery down, as you said. And if they can get Blackburn back to where he was, you've got a rotation now that 1 through 5 is very stable. And they've all been around here now for at least a couple of years. But the main thing is now the one thing that rotation lacked was an ace, and it looks as if Liriano's ready to assume that role. So you've got that number 1 guy on the top of the rotation, and then the other 4 guys are, proven winners as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Slowey, you look at Blackburn, you look at Baker. I mean, to me, a number 1 guy is someone that you say, okay, this guy's going to end a losing streak, and Liriano's done that. You know, good spot right there off a pitch by Slowey, just missing outer half of the plate.
1-2 to Ordonez.
Then you got Carl Pavano. I mean, this guy knows how to pitch.
Driven to right. Kadair makes a nice running catch. And Ordonez again puts the barrel of the bat on the ball, but makes it out, one away. Cabrera coming up. And it's time with him coming to the plate for our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Well, this coming off of Kevin Slowey in the 4th inning. A fastball to Cabrera, line drive home run. His 6th home run of the year. That made it a 3-2 ball game at the time.
And Cabrera has hit the ball hard both times. And he lifts this to deep right center field. Hoping for a bounce, but it's gone off the facing of the upper deck. So Cabrera, another solo home run. 3rd solo shot for the Tigers, and it's a 5-3 game. That has to be the longest home run by a right-handed batter to the opposite field. Looked like it hit off the facing of the second deck.
Well, a fastball, I mean, pretty much down the middle of the plate, and the strength of Cabrera, like Roy Smalley was talking about. I mean, look at that, right near the diamond notes right there. Wow. Man, strong.
Here's Brennan Bosch, who singled to left his last time up, also bounced into a double play in the second. High fastball and a swing and a foul. So the Tigers out hitting the Twins 6-4, but still down by a couple of runs. Their only run scoring on solo home run.
Well, the location right there, you can see pretty much where I think any hitter likes it, but you give it to a guy with the strength of Cabrera, he can hit it a long way.
420 feet the measurement on Cabrera's home run, the second home run, 1-1.
Kevin Slowey came into this ball game in his first 5 starts, gave up 3 home runs, and he's given up 3 so far here today, but all solo home runs. And he still has a 2-run lead.
Sharply hit. Casilla, nice pickup from his knees, throws, but Bosch beats it out. Good play by Casilla. It's an infield hit with 1 away in the 6th.
Yeah, one thing we've seen from Bosch at 6'5", he motors down that line. Actually 6'6", motors down that line pretty quickly, hitting this ball sharply. But Casilla smothering the ball, and then from his knees tries to get the ball over there, but Bosch beats it out. Bosch getting his 2nd hit.
If that's Ordonez or somebody else, they might have gotten an out there. Here's Kelly. Down and in, ball 1. Well, now with Kelly at the plate after the base hit, the tying run at the plate. Kelly's 0 for 2, a strikeout in the 2nd, and a pop-up to Casilla in the 4th. A chopper foul. Gene Lamont with pickup. Former Major League manager, managed the Pirates, the White Sox. Mentioned the Twins host the Orioles starting tomorrow night. Tigers go to Cleveland. They have an off day tomorrow and then play at Progressive Field over the weekend. Indians trying to win the final game of their series with Toronto, leading 3-2 in the 8th. Foul back, 1-2.
Interesting pitching matchup in Boston tonight. The Angels, who have lost 5 straight, they'll be facing their former pitching ace, John Lackey. Joel Pinheiro pitching for the Angels, and he has struggled.
Well, I think a lot of us thought that the American League West was going to be a lot tougher division than it's proven to be so far. You have the Rangers, the only team above 500. They're only 1 game above 500.
Well, Kevin Slowey, the breakdown of his pitches with 90 so far, 63 fastballs, and the breaking ball and the changeup.
One and 2 to Don Kelly. Got him looking, and Kelly knew it, 2 away.
And Slowey picking up his 3rd strikeout, getting Kelly for the 2nd time in the game. Good location, down and in.
Here's Alex Avila. Solo home run to get the Tigers on the board, leading off the third. And then in the fourth and sixth, Cabrera hit solo home runs. It's deep but fouled on the left field line. Slowly hoping to complete the sixth, maybe getting a shot at the seventh inning.
Yeah, Slowey making his sixth career start against the Detroit Tigers. He's 3-0 coming in this ball game against the Tigers, but a 6.2 earned run average. So he's had a lot of outings like this against the Tigers where the Twins offense have kind of picked them up. Came into the game 24 2/3 innings in the 5 starts. So you figure that out right there. I mean, that's, less than 5 innings of start. And he gave up 17 earned runs. Jesse Crain getting loose.
Swing and a foul, 1-2. Twins bullpen pretty well rested after the complete game yesterday. Pavano, even when he going back to the Twins series in Detroit, Pavano pitched an 8-inning complete game. The Twins keeping an eye on Slowey, seeing first that he can get through the 6th inning. Pitch number 95. And out 2-2. A little separation in the American League Central. We showed you the standings early on. You got the Tigers, who started this series just a half game behind the Twins, now 2.5. And then Chicago, Kansas City, and Cleveland farther back. Twins trying to finish off the sweep and have a 3.5 game lead. 2-2. And now a full count. And it'll free up Bosch to leave early from first. Again, the Twins off to a great start, and they've had a tough time keeping their best players on the field. Hardy out today, Mauer out, Morno's missed some time. 3-2. Bosch goes, and it's ball 4. And that'll bring up Sizemore. So now the tying runs at first with 2 away.
Yeah, second walk in the ball game for Slowey.
For the second straight year, Major League Baseball. Trip coming to the mound here. Major League Baseball and People magazine have teamed up to identify everyday All-Stars and salute their efforts during the Midsummer Classic. Go to peopleallstars.com, nominate an All-Star from your community. Nominations must be in by May 14th. Just go to peopleallstars.com and submit your entry. And a pitching change here with Kevin Slowey coming out. Well, so far they're watching the Twins win, but the Twins are the first team today to have to go to the bullpen.
Well, Kevin Slowey, 5 2/3 innings. Again, not able to get at least 6 innings in a start for 5 out of 6 starts. And Jesse Crane coming in. He worked in all 3 of those games that the Twins were in Cleveland, making his 12th relief appearance. He last worked on Sunday, 2/3 of an inning. No record for Jesse, 10 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings, with only 3 walks.
Well, now wait a minute. They've skipped school, and spelling is not their strong subject in school. Maybe it's a field trip. Did you ever go on a field trip in school?
You know what? I never have, or never did. Probably I had to go to school to go on a field trip, right?
My kids are always going to fun places and field trips. I went to one. It was to a sewage treatment plant. That's a true story. Here's Sizemore, tying run at first, 2 away. We're in the 6th, and Jesse Crane trying to get the Twins out of a jam. Swing and a miss. Sizemore with a pop up to second, a fly ball to left. Tigers staying within range here, and now 1-out single and a 2-out walk will put a couple of men aboard, and Crane keeping the ball away from Sizemore. He swings through another one, 0-2.
Yeah, good hard slider right there by Crane. He'll mix in 4 pitches, a good fastball in the low 90s. He'll get that baby up to 96, 97 at times. But the slow curveball, that last pitch, the slider, an occasional changeup.
2 strikes to Sizemore. Dropped a breaking ball just off the outside corner, 1-2.
And you wonder, how can he lay off that pitch? Because you can't hit it. That's why. Just missing. Well, our box track says it's a strike.
Well, let's go to commercial break then, shall we? There's strike 3. Crane comes in, finishes off the inning. The Tigers get 1, but leave 2. It's a 5-3 game.
Well, Nick Punto right here off the glove of Bosch right there. And what you don't want to do is give a major league team more than 3 outs an inning. And the Twins took advantage of that error right there by Bosch, scoring 2 unearned runs in the 4th inning.
The Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze cam, and those 2 runs are the difference in the game right now. Casilla started it, a 2-out walk in the 4th against Rick Porcello. Then the error, Span with a base hit. Twins actually left the bases full that inning. They could have scored more. 1 strike to Casilla, and a Quest high-speed pitch with Kevin Slowey out of the game.
Well, Rick Porcello at 94, Kevin Slowey at 91.
Garcia drives it to left center field. Jackson, now the left fielder, Rayburn makes the catch as that ball seemed to get pushed around by the outfield, or around the outfield by the wind. One down. And Hugs in the Twins dugout.
Only want a hug when I go 9.
One down. Here's Punto. Hit the drive to the warning track in right center that Bosch bobbled. Biggest play of the game, perhaps, so far. Up high, and it's 2-0. On the inside corner, 2-1. Porcello just in his second year. Scherzer in his first full year. Verlander, the Tigers locked up long term. And Punto drops a base hit in front of the left fielder, going the other way for his first hit of the ballgame.
Good hitting by right there by Nick Punto, taking that pitch away the other way.
Our AT&T trivia question. Well, we've gotten so many in a row correct, I've forgotten what the question was.
I'm going to say Nate Robertson.
Okay. I'll go Rick Porcello. That's Nate Robertson.
Well, Nate Robertson no longer a Tiger. He's down in Florida, where his career started with the Marlins.
Porcello comes out with Span and a switch hitter, and then a couple of lefties due up after that. It'll be Fu Tae-Nee pitching next for Detroit.
Five and a third innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, couple unearned runs, and like you mentioned, Dick, those are the right now in the Twins' favor. Vernie making his 9th relief appearance, a left-hander out of Taiwan in his 2nd season with the Tigers.
Been a good game for Span. He's reached all 3 times. A sharp single to right, a sharp single to left, a walk in between. Toronto Blue Jays just got 3 runs in the top of the 9th against Chris Perez, and now lead Cleveland 5-4 at Progressive Field. Guessing a home run or 2 might have been involved there. Blue Jays leading the world in home runs hit. And a snap throw, Punto back. Span stole a base in the 4th inning.
We saw this in yesterday's ball game. Dontrell Willis threw a lot of pitches over to Cabrera when Punto was at first base. Punto, of course, a chance to steal a base. 2 for 2 in stolen base opportunities.
Span checks his swing on a breaking ball that drifts outside.
Yeah, neat kind of a slinger. He's got a fastball, not overpowering. That last pitch, the sweeping breaking ball and a changeup. Seen him from time to time drop down a little bit, give you a sidearm delivery.
Third hit of the game for Span. Punto around second, on his way to third. The throw comes through, and that allows Span to go to second. A mistake for Rayburn. He had no chance of getting Punto, and then to compound matters, he came up with a poor throw.
I'm surprised Santiago, the shortstop, didn't cut that off because Span may have been out at second base. But Punto hustling on this. Good read by Punto, seeing that ball was going to drop. Rayburn comes up, and then that throw right there I thought should have been picked off by Santiago as the throw was really offline. And then Span, seeing this as he rounds first base, he makes it over to second.
Infield in here. Tigers down a couple of runs already, and Hudson at the plate with 1 out and 2 men in scoring position.
Span getting his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Popped up near the railing, and Cabrera makes the catch, and Hudson's gone on 1 pitch. And we'll see how aggressively the Tigers pitch to Morneau with first base open.
Well, that ball looked like it was going to slice into the crowd, but the wind kind of blew it back.
So Morneau with an RBI double in the first, a fly ball to left in the third, and then a walk to fill the bases in the fourth. And the Tigers aren't going to mess around. They'll intentionally walk him to refill the bases and get Kubel to the plate. And of course, this has been the one statistical glaring soft spot for the Twins. This bases loaded situation. Kubel came up with the Twins having already scored a couple of runs and a chance to break the game open. And Porcello got him to hit an inning-ending pop-up to short. And it's Kubel again here in the 6th with a chance to break the game open. Twins hitting about 150 with the bases loaded this year. Kubel having his 2nd opportunity of this ball game. Kubel 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts in his career against Need.
Oh, he's due for a hit right here then.
And a breaking ball and a check swing, strike 1. Same pitch, missing. Kubel not swinging, and it's 1-1.
You know, when Kubel got that RBI double in the 3rd inning, Roy Smalley was talking about Kubel taking that pitch the other way. And it looks like, you know, the first 2 pitches, they're going to work Kubel outer half of the plate with the breaking ball. Acavilla, the catcher, how he moves late, again outside. And a fastball clipping the corner of the plate.
So 1-2. Kubel's double in the 3rd, driving in his 11th run of the year. And in years past, there isn't anybody the Twins would rather have at the plate with the bases loaded than Jason Kubel. 1-2. And a nice dig by Avila. That ball looked like it landed outside the right-handed batter's box, and Avila was able to keep Punto at third.
Well, he called the slider or the breaking ball, so he knew it was going to be outer half of the plate, and he does a good job of smothering that ball.
So everything has been away to Kubel, including the one fastball that he's seen that hit the outside corner.
As a pitcher, you want something to happen right here on a 2-2 pitch. And it happened.
76 miles per hour, and the Twins, for the second time in the ballgame, leave the bases full.
Straight ball game. The Twins had scored 2 or more runs in the first inning right here. Twins do score a couple runs. RBI double right there by Justin Morneau. But Miguel Cabrera showing off his power with a couple of solo home runs in the ball game. And probably might be the biggest play of the game right there. Dropped by the right fielder, and that scored a couple unearned runs. Now this young man right here, you've been holding up this sign a lot. Happy 5th birthday, your first Twins game, and you are hereby circled.
Just think, from this day forward, when that young man goes to a Twins game, he'll be going to an outdoor ballpark. He will never have seen the Twins play indoors, and unfortunately we've got a generation at least of fans who never saw them play outdoors until this year. Here's Ramon Santiago leading off the 7th against Jesse Crain. And strike one.
Well, Crain doing a great job striking out Sizemore to get the Twins and Kevin Slowey out of the 6th inning.
39,037 the paid attendance. And I'm told that any crowd with 38,000 and some change is generally considered a sellout, because those are sold tickets, not the complimentary tickets that the players and the teams get. There's a bunt, and Crain bare hands it, throws, got him. Good play. One away.
Yeah, very good play right there by the pitcher. Don't know if Ramos would have been able to get to this ball. Crain, a former shortstop at the University of Houston, showing off his ability to get off the mound. Not like Phil Koch, he stayed on his feet.
So one down in the 7th, and here's Austin Jackson. Singled his last time up. We're about a month into the season, so the suggestion that Jackson might win a batting title is a bit premature. But
you think?
It doesn't happen very often, you know, when that a rookie would win a batting title. And if memory serves me correct, we went from Tony Oliva to Ichiro Suzuki in the American League. And of course, Ichiro was a seasoned professional from Japan. I don't think there was a rookie between those two who won a batting title. And of course, Tony is the only guy to have won it in each of his first 2 years.
Right. And 3 of his first 4.
Crane drops a curve, missing. It's 2-1. And I don't know that in the larger picture it matters whether Jackson wins a batting title or not. It just looks like he's going to be a good, solid player for them. Hit hard to center, but Span is there to make the catch out number 2. And that'll bring up Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn entered the game when Johnny Damon left with some tightness in a calf muscle. And Crane starts him with a fastball, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, Rayburn worked here, he's played here on Monday night, 0 for 4. Rayburn in his 5th season with the Tigers. Some action in the bullpen for the Tigers.
Bonine and Zamaya, both right-handers. The Twins are due to send up Kadire, Young, and Ramos in the bottom of the 7th. Crank to left. And Young is there to make the catch. All right, Rayburn hit that ball hard, but maybe with a little topspin. A 1-2-3, 7th inning. First inning runs for the Twins again today. And a 2-run lead as we go to the home half of the 7th. Twins' 5th opportunity to sweep a team in a 3-game series. And Eddie Bonine's going to try to keep the Twins at 5.
Yeah, Bonine, a right-hander coming out of that bullpen. Not an overpowering fastball between 85 and 91. A knuckle curveball and a changeup in his 3rd season with the Tigers. Having a very solid year out of the bullpen. 13 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks.
You know, one thing that's odd that the Twins have failed in their 4 prior opportunities to sweep an opponent But it's also odd that the opportunities have come against teams within the Central. They had a chance in Chicago against the White Sox, here against Kansas City and Cleveland, and then in Kansas City, and they failed in all 4 opportunities, and now have another divisional opponent here, their closest pursuer, the Tigers. So to get one, it'd be nice, especially against the second-place Detroit Tigers.
Right.
1-0 to Kadire. Check swing and a strike, 1-1. Kadire with an RBI and a ground ball in the first. Another ground ball and fly ball have followed. On the outside corner, 1-2. Overall, the Twins are 13-7 within the American League Central. Tigers are 8-6. Fouled away. I mentioned the Twins step outside the division to host the Orioles for the only time this year here for a 4-game series, and the White Sox, and then the Twins have an East Coast or an American League East road trip coming up. New York, Toronto, and Boston. One and two to Michael Kadire. Scalded foul.
Eddie Bonine, 28 years old, grew up in a baseball family. His father, Eddie Keith Bonine, pitched 7 years in the Houston Astro minor league system. Sure, he and his dad talk pitching a lot.
The 1-2 pitch lifted in foul ground, and Cabrera, about where he caught a pop-up last inning, catches another one here. Mother's Day is Sunday, and the Twins will be home to host the Orioles in an afternoon contest. The first 5,000 female fans will get a pair of Mother's Day earrings, so get to the ballpark early. You can log on to twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS and check them out for available tickets. One down. Here's Delman Young. And a strike. Young hitless in the game. Good couple of games to get the average above 250. Actually had the average up to 274 before his 0 for 3.
Good curveball right there by Bonine, getting ahead in the count.
Vela with a block, 1-2. Progressive Field, the Jays got 3 runs in the 9th, and they beat the Indians 5-4. Indians right now 8 games behind the Twins. Bonine giving Avila a little extra time after taking that pitch out of the dirt. Hit to center, and Jackson is there for the catch. Out number 2.
Well, one thing we've seen the center fielders, they kind of hesitate a little bit because of the wind current out there. Saw Span kind of fight off some fly balls, almost make a great catch on a line drive, and right there Jackson kind of didn't know which way to go, back or in, and ended up coming in a little bit to catch that ball off the bat of Delman Young.
First couple games Ramos was stinging the ball with every swing. Last couple games he's not gotten the ball out of the infield. A couple of strikeouts and a lot of ground balls.
And he's seeing more of those. You mentioned that. More breaking balls.
1 strike to Wilson Ramos. And he takes a breaking pitch, 1-1. Tight.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens, whether, when Joe Mauer comes back, whether they keep Ramos here or they send him back, this is a great experience for this young man right here. Again, only 22 years old in his 6th year with the Twins in their organization.
Two and one. And a strike, 2-2. You look around baseball and you see how many teams are desperate to find an everyday catcher, a productive everyday catcher who might hit in the middle of a lineup. And then you realize how blessed the Twins are to have Mauer and now this guy. 3-2. Now we say that knowing full well that Ramos has only had a handful of at-bats. But you consider the spring training that he's had, the minor league numbers that he's had. 3-2. Fly ball to center, hit right at Jackson.
Yeah, there it is. See
and
that?
The wind again pushing it out near the track. And Jackson had to athletically and acrobatically make the catch to end the inning. Bonine has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Nevertheless, the Twins have a 2-run lead. We go to the 8th inning, and Matt Guerrero will pitch to the middle of the Tiger lineup.
Well, the numbers on Matt Guerrero making his 13th relief appearance. 13 and a third innings so far. 10 hits allowed, 3 runs with 4 walks, 1 intentional with 5 strikeouts. See the holes right there, 4 holes. When you're getting the opportunity to hold for that closer, John Roush, and hopefully he'll improve on that number right here this afternoon.
Natural choice because he's actually had a pretty good success right. Here's a drive to right off the bat of Ordonez. Kadire going back, making the catch on the track. Again, that's such a tough play for a right fielder until you get to know this ballpark, because had that ball carried a little bit farther, it would have hit the wall. If it had hit a little bit farther than that, the wall or the limestone above it.
Well, you see Kadire right there. He's just kind of looking where the corner of that wall is and makes a nice running catch.
So Kadire with the catch on the first pitch. And now Cabrera beginning to say Cabrera the natural choice here, because he's actually fared pretty well against Ordonez, who is now 3 for 18 against him. And Cabrera is just 1 for 12 against him.
Cabrera already 2 solo home runs in the ball game.
1-1.
Those coming off the starter, Kevin Slowey, who worked the first 5 2/3 innings. Good job by Jesse Crane, retiring all 4 batters he was asked to get out.
2-1. Foul back. 2-2. 3-for-3 game for Cabrera. The average up to 372. Breaking ball missing inside, and it's 2-2. Fastball up and in. It's 3-2, but Cabrera thinks it's 3-2. The scoreboard said, I thought the scoreboard said it was 2-2. At any rate, Cabrera draws a 1-out walk. Great deals at the great new ballpark, and maybe the best is a ticket in the alcohol-free Our Family section, courtesy of the Our Family brands. Limited tickets available this season. You can get tickets in the Our Family section for just $22, and that includes a Schweigert's hot dog and Pepsi. You can log on to twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS to order your tickets. So Guerrero walks Cabrera with 1 out in the 8th. That'll get Bosch up as the tying runner. And the Twins are going to bring Brian Dunsing in to pitch to him, lefty against lefty. Here's our Mountain Dew game summary.
On the first inning, Twins scored a couple runs, 6 straight ball games. They scored 2 or more thanks to Justin Morneau's RBI double. In the 4th inning, Cabrera, a shot to left field, a home run, a solo home run. Nick Puto hitting a fly ball to Bosch out in right field. It's dropped right there. That scores Casilla. Twins score 2 unearned runs off of that error in the 4th inning.
So Ron Gardenhire trying to patch together the end of this ball game after Slowey goes just under 6 innings. Crane, Guerrero, and now Dunsing, who will face Brennan Bosch for the first time. Brandon Inge has come onto the on-deck circle. He apparently is going to hit for Bosch.
Yeah, good numbers for Brian Dunsing. 2 of the 3 wins out of that bullpen. Making his 11th relief appearance, 11 innings pitched, only 8 hits allowed with 3 strikeouts. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts.
So the Twins switching things around, and so do the Tigers. The bottom line is Bosch is out of the game. And with the injury situation that the Tigers are dealing with, really only one move left for the Tigers. That would be Adam Everett after the Inge pinch hitting appearance.
Yeah, Gerald Laird still hurting from that shin. He took that foul ball off his shin yesterday.
Former league MVP and a guy many feel will eventually win one, perhaps as soon as this year, Miguel Cabrera. Inge as a pinch hitter, 1 for 2 on the year. And Kelly, the on-deck hitter. So by bringing Dunsing in, the Twins get Bosch out of the game. High fly to center. Span has to go back. Has it within range. Out number 2. So Inge retired on the first pitch. And it'll bring up Don Kelly. The first pitch fastball just got under it a little bit.
Yeah, high fastball right there. Inge, good extension, but to the deepest part here at Target Field.
Kelly is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And he pops the first pitch up. Punto comes in.
Now that's relief pitching.
2 pitches, 2 outs, and a 2-run lead for the Twins.
Slowey stops the Tigers. He goes a very solid 5 2/3 innings, surrendering just 3 runs on 7 hits. We'll talk about the defensive errors. One was a physical error, another mental error made by the Detroit Tigers today, and turning 2 is our instructional with Bert and Roy and Anthony and the rest of the gang, all on Quest Twins Live, and it's going to be a beauty of a post-game show. I could just feel it. Right, Dick?
Absolutely. He looks like he's winded. Brian Dunsing did a great job. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
See Brandon Inge staying in the ball game. He'll play third. Ryan Rayburn, who was in left field, moves over to right. And Don Kelly, there's Kelly right there, who was at third base, now moves out to left field. And there's Rayburn.
So Casilla, Punto, and Span will hit here in the 8th inning. He's got a hunch here. See, he's going to drop down a bunt. Inge in on the grass at third.
Yeah, he's looking for it.
Cabrera cheating in a little bit at first base as well.
Good call.
Safe. On the first pitch, a little roller into the thick grass here at Target Field. And the Twins get a leadoff bunt in the 8th.
Well, one thing at the Metrodome, Casilla, you try to take that ball with you right here. He tries to do that. He takes it with him and gets out on that grass. See Avila right there kind of circle the ball, trying to pick it up and get something on it, but the speed of Casilla gets his first hit of the ball game. And the hits are tied now at 7 apiece for the Tigers and the Twins.
Punto with a hit his last time up, slapped a single to left.
He might bunt too. He showed bunt.
This is kind of a freebie. I mean, if Punto puts the ball on the ground, he gets a hit, he gets a hit. If he doesn't, he should get a sacrifice. So we'll see whether he fakes a bunt, actually bunts, or swings away here. 1-0. Of course, the possibility of a straight steal exists too, because he hasn't been on base much to try to steal many bases, but he runs well. Punto bunts it foul to the screen. 1-1. Casilla, when he played full time, or pretty much full time in 2008, 385 at bats, he stole 7 bases in 9 tries. Last year, in It was in essence a part-time job that he had. He was 11 for 11.
You know, I don't see John Roush getting loose, so maybe the 9th inning belongs to Brian Dunsing.
Roush was warming up. There goes Casilla, and the pitch bounced towards second. One down. Roush, as I recall, warmed up briefly last night, or maybe the night before. I think last night, but he did not come in. And you're right, he's not warming up now. When typically the Twins have had their closers warming up in situations like this. So a sacrifice for Punto.
Well, the
Excuse
Tigers,
me, a ground ball, no sacrifice.
The Tigers do up Avila Sizemore, a right-handed hitter, Avila a left-handed hitter, and Santiago, who has a tougher time as a right-handed hitter than a left-handed hitter.
So Casilla advances to second on the ground ball, and now the Twins start sending left-handers up. And Phil Koch's going to come in. Doing more on defense, brought to you by Home Depot.
Well, Jackson making a nice catch right there. That ball sinking line drive. Good concentration. Making that final out catch.
Jim Leyland making the move, and Phil Koch coming in. I'm a little distracted here, wondering with Phil Koch coming in about the status of John Roush, but I think he's beginning to warm up now. Koch comes in with Span coming to the plate, and the Twins trying to add a run here in the 8th.
Well, Koch making his 15th relief appearance. He worked in last night's ball game, 1/3 of an inning. Did give up a base hit to Justin Morneau, but then retired Jim Thome. Only 2 batters he faced. Remember, Justin kind of jammed himself and hit that ball to Koch over on the third base side. He had a little tough time fielding that ball. There's Roush warming up.
He might be one of those guys, because remember, he's been a setup guy, and those guys by nature have to generally get up and get fired up and ready to go quicker than maybe a closer would. Maybe he's still has that capability.
Well, with, again, Alex Avila being a left-handed hitter, the due up, and really Jim Leyland doesn't have a lot of guys other than Adam Everett maybe to pinch hit, and his backup catcher, Gerald Laird, hurt. So maybe, Brian Dunsing was overused in that 8th inning. Threw 2 pitches to get 2 outs, so maybe they'll start Dunsing the inning. We'll wait and find out, and let's see if the Twins can maybe add a run right here. Span having a great day at the plate. 3 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Scored a run.
For a good part of the road trip, we were talking to Span. It just had a tough time hitting the ball hard and getting 1 hit, and all he needed was a few multi-hit games. Well, he has one of those going here, and the average is up to 270 already. That on the inside corner, a strike. Span typically responds well to Tiger pitching. He's got 5 hits in this series. Excuse me, 6 hits in the series. 1 strike. A Tiger nemesis ever since he came up a couple years ago. And again, Koch hits the inside corner with a fastball.
Good one, huh? Yankees last year, right? Facing all these loose fronts.
2 strikes to Denard Span. Half swing, and home plate umpire Darryl Cousins said he went.
Yeah, that's the slider right there. 2 fastballs in her half, and then that hard slider down and away. And Darryl Cousins called it right away. So Koch comes in, strikes out the first batter he faces.
Span doesn't agree, but I don't think we'll ever see him argue with a home plate umpire again after what happened on the road trip. I don't think he went.
I don't think he went either, but That man in black back there said he did.
Here's Hudson.
I always wonder why they said the men in blue when they were black.
Strike on the outside corner. Hudson looking for his first hit. He's walked and scored. He's been hit by a pitch. He's reached in the fielder's choice. Fouled out on the first pitch he saw in the sixth. And he lifts it foul and out of play, 2 strikes. Koku's come into a tough spot. Team already down a couple of runs, trying to strand Casilla at second. He's thrown 5 pitches, all for strikes. Lifted to short right field. Sizemore out. And it's the right fielder, Rayburn, making the catch, and the Twins strand Casilla at second. It'll be a 2-run lead for John Roush in the ninth.
And it'll be John Roush trying to get a save. It would be his 8th. And it's been a while for John Roush to try to get a save or pick up his save. Last save that Roush had, you have to go back against the Tigers in Detroit when Liriano worked the 8 shutout innings. And the Twins beat the Tigers 2-0.
Avila, the leadoff hitter in the ninth. Check swing, and Darryl Cousins says that's not a strike. Despite that, despite going such a long time between save opportunities, if Roush gets it here today, he'll be tied for the league lead with David Arzma of the Mariners with 8. There goes a deep drive to right. And it's gone. It's a 1-run lead for the Twins. So last night, Brendan Bosch covered up the 1-run deficit with a home run quickly off of Nick Blackburn, and now Avila hits his second of the ball game.
Again, Avila came into the ball game in 37 at-bats without an RBI. And it's the 4th solo home run. Thank goodness for the Tigers. And the Twins now hold on to a 1-run lead. First home run that John Roush has allowed.
And now Sizemore, who is 0 for 3. And the key here for Roush, obviously getting outs, but what he wants to avoid more than anything else is having to face Ordonez and Cabrera. He falls behind 2-0. It's Sizemore, Santiago, Jackson, Rayburn, and then it would be Ordonez hitting 6th this inning, 5 batters from now. Roush going for a little stroll. So it's a 5-4 ball game. Sizemore goes after a pitch up. Looked like it was out of the strike zone and might have been ball 3.
They're trying to tie that ball game right there with that swing.
High again, and it's 3-1. Now 3-2 with Santiago on deck.
Roush last worked on Sunday in Cleveland. 1 shutout inning. Twins won that game 8-3.
Came back to get him. A strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Fell behind an account, and there's Rare's back up in the strike zone. Sizemore swings through it for the first out.
Here is Santiago. Tried to bunt his way aboard his last time up. And he takes a strike. And a curve missing the outside corner. 1-1. Bounce to first. Bobbled by Morneau. 2 down. The Twins 1 out away from taking what was a half-game lead in the division and pushing it all the way out to 3.5. Austin Jackson, last hope for the Tigers so far this year. The Twins have won 4 of 6 against Cleveland, 2 of 3 against the White Sox, 4 of 6 against Kansas City, and if they can get one more out here, they'll have won 4 of the first 6 against Detroit.
Yeah, again, so many games within your division, 72 of the 162. You want to win within your division, and the Twins are doing a good job of that. Strike 1 by John Roush.
And a 2-1 rate if they can get the win here. To Morneau, and that settles it. A 3-game sweep for the Twins against Detroit.
Didn't I always tell you that solo home runs won't beat you?
4 of them almost tied it.
But the Twins scored 5.
Jimmy John's delivery of the game, driving in the first run of the game, way back in the first.
Yeah, we have to go all the way back to the first inning. Justin Morneau with the RBI double, scoring span. Twins took a 1-0 lead, then they added another run in the first.
And so the Twins open up this homestand with that elusive 3-game sweep. The 5th time Anthony LaPanta was the charm for the Twins today.
And it's now 17 wins in the last 22 home games against the Tigers as John Roush nails down the sweep. We'll take a look at how Kevin Slowey slowed this Tiger lineup. We'll take a look at how defense once again was an advantage for Minnesota. We'll hear from the manager, and we'll hit the field to show you how you turn 2 on the comeback.